Great. So let's get into it now. Muftawu Nabila has joined us. He's an old student of the school we've been talking about. Muftawu, thank you very much for joining us. What's the name of the school and where is it located?
It's Duu Basic School.
Come again? What's the name?
Duu, yes.
Basic School.
Yes, DUU.
Okay, Duu Basic School.
Yes, in
and
the
that's in the northeast region.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us, the situation, in that school, because you are an old student.
Yes.
And we're told that you are, helping as old students. What's the state of the school?
It is in a very terrible state, just as you can see right behind you. The children are sitting on the floor. These are JSS students. Yes, that's even JSS students.
JHS?
Yeah. These are JSS students sitting on the floor. They have a population of over 130 for the JSS alone, and a little over 500 for the KG to primary 6. And Winston, over 20 years ago when I started school, I was sitting on that very floor over there.
So you also sat on the floor?
Yes.
It means this is not today's problem?
No, it is not today's problem.
It's been the situation since?
It's been a situation for many, many years. And in fact, I think that at least we should give some amount of credit to World Vision, because around that time, about many, many years ago, they were the only organization who once a while would come to help us. Right? They could help us with some groceries and other stuff for us. But the major problem has always been us sitting on the floor. And those days, I recall vividly how we would write on the floor for the teacher to come and mark. Because
write on the floor for the teacher to come and mark?
Oh, yes. We write on the floor, the teacher will come and mark. Sometimes you write and finish and use your leg to clean. Yeah, those are the stories we've gone through. And in fact, even around that time, the major challenge was the fact that we were sitting under neem trees because the classes were not enough to contain all of us. So we were sitting under neem trees to study. Over 20 years on, JSS has been added. Children are still sitting on the floor. So it's quite inhumane to have JSS children still sit on the floor to have instructional sessions with their teachers.
Is the situation different in the primary session?
It is worse, actually, in the primary session.
They also don't have chairs?
They don't have anything. That school have got absolutely nothing. The first time they got furniture for this year, it was the old students of Duu, of which I am a part of, that contributed money, bought 20 dual desks, and gave it to the school. And when we gave it to the school, they went and placed it in the JSS, because the JSS, there were like 130, so the 20 could only cater for 40 students. The head teacher told me that someone too decided to support them with 5. So now they have 25, so they have 50 kids off the ground. But the rest are still sitting on the floor.
My goodness.
Yes. Winston, is a huge problem. And I remember 3 years ago, there was a heavy downpour, thunderstorm, that got most of the roofs completely off. We contributed money to buy roofing sheets to go and fix the school, because it is our alma mater. So we have a role to contribute.
Now, Duu, for instance, we'll hear from the headmaster shortly, but help us understand where Duu is in the northeast region, so we have a better appreciation of the community.
So Duu is in the West Mamprusi district. If you get to Wale Wale and you are headed towards Wulugu or Bolga, let me use Bolga because Bolga is quite famous. There are 2 ways you can get to Duu. Either right after the Ghana Commercial Bank, you take your left and drive towards Zangum to Nabari or Kinkandina, and then you drive towards Duu. Or you go straight to Wulugu. When you get to Wulugu, so from Bimsi you get to Wulugu, and then Wulugu you take a left turn and drive direct. When you drive direct, you get to Kinkandina, you get to Silinga. From Silinga you get to Nabari. From Nabari you get to Sarba, and Sarba you get to Duu. So it is in the West Mamprusi
from
district.
You get to where?
To Pasingpe.
Basingpe.
Yes.
Okay, that's where we're told the vice president's mother comes from.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
this is something that is very close from. Before he gets to the mother's hometown, he will pass by your
Definitely.
hometown. Imagine in the 21st century, 2024, school children sitting on the floor in this year, 2024. Some being supported by blocks.
Yeah.
And having to write. I mean, how do we expect JHS students to be in such an environment? Well, that's the situation at the Duu Basic School. And Muftawu Nabila is helping us understand where Duu is in the northeast region.
Yes.
And you've told us that you actually went through the same situation.
Yes.
It means that this is not a 2024 challenge.
No.
It's been there. Unfortunately, we have not dealt with it all these years.
Yes.
And you were telling us of how, the communities that are very close. You've mentioned.
Yes.
What was the last place?
So the last place is Pasingpe, where the vice president's mother comes from. So, and many a times we would always tell you that we are proud that we've been able to produce a vice president for the country. Because
you produced the vice president.
we did.
Yeah, but the neighboring towns, they are all the same.
Okay.
They are related. I mean, they may even be in the same district.
Imagine.
I don't know in the same district.
We are in the same district.
Then they are the same.
We are in the same district. And
Slight differences.
Winston, if I'm seated, my house is just by the road. If the vice president is passing by, I'll see him.
Okay. If he's passing by to his mother's
village, I'll see him.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm proud. I'm proud that we've been able to produce a vice president for our country, Northeast. Yes.
Look, let's listen to the headmaster.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of people are listening to us right now. They would want to help. I know you're raising some funds. Would get those details. But first, let's listen to the headmaster, Mr. Nuhu. Tell us the state of the Duu Basic School.
The school has a population of about 130. That is for only the junior high school. But for the primary, we have close to 1,000 student population from both lower, upper, and then KG. In fact, the school has so many problems that we think it has become beyond our solution. And then if we don't put it on the public domain, we may not get solution. I think there's a saying in our local dialect that you wash your dirty informant wash his or her dirty linen in the air, but eventually he may find solution to some of the problems. So I am always here to appeal for support for the school. As mentioned earlier in our complaints or appeal for support, we said that the school, among the problems was the furniture issue, of which most of the old students based in Accra were able to support her with 20 dual decks, which is still not sufficient for not even the only junior high school, but lower primary, upper, and KG all need the furniture, which I think is still inadequate to complement or to augment the total number of the students in the school. Aside the furniture issue, we also have the school having a water problem. In fact, since the inception of the school, there's no borehole in the school. And then the children always trek all the way from the school to the nearby borehole closer to the health center, which they always cross the route, which is even risky to their life because the vehicles are passing every day and then it can even cause an accident if not watched carefully. So I still appeal for support that if we could get a borehole, even situated at the primary, because they have much population, or if you even get one at the junior high school too, is better for us. Aside the water situation, we also have the school not connected to the electricity grid or national grid. In fact, we still need the light, because if there's no lights, we can't even have computer studies or what have you in the school, of which we need more support, particularly the lights regard to the electricity connected to the school for all the school, the junior high school, primary, and that of the KG, so that we can have light to learn when we are supported with computers and other activities that demand electricity. Aside the electricity issue, we also have a challenge of broken doors, windows, and then when it rains, the roofs of the building leaks, and then even the floors are cracked. We need some repairs. Some of them are even major, not even minor. And forthcoming, the capitation grant we use to support supplement the situation of the school. But some of these years we've not been getting the capitation grant coming, and that reason even face a problem for us. We can't do any manner repairs in the school. Aside this, there are other problems that we are facing, of which I can't mention all of them, but we need the support of philanthropists and whoever is listening to this information coming from the junior high. We need all hands on deck to support us, provide the needs of the school in order for the children to sit comfortable and learn and then achieve academic excellence, which we all yearn for. And I say assalamu alaikum to each and everyone who hear this message from the school.
And this is Ghana in the year 2024. We are not listening to the story of an ancient school, Ghana, in 2024.
And think about the age of Muftawu.
Yeah.
If Muftawu went through this process, the reasonable expectation is that a prosperous or improving or developing country would have improved the situation there, so that today we would have been talking about, oh no, their power situation is not good, so they need solar panels on their building. We are talking about something more. We have been discussing, oh, we need to get them better facilities to study with. Maybe the tablets would have worked now. I hope you get my point. Because
the tablets cannot even work because the school doesn't even have power.
No, if it was unacceptable during Muftawu's time, how we determine our progress is that these kids have some standard of living elevated small, so that subsequent people, the people will come and say, oh, it was like that. You go and tell them the story, they'll be amazed that this was the state of their school. But for it to be like that for a very long time shows the level of neglect that we have actually subjected the people to, as if this is not part of Ghana. How different is it from that mentality that the colonial master had about the Northern Territory? You tell me. You convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Muftawu, so, I mean, a lot of people want to help. I've seen people sending messages and they say, how can they help? So if somebody wants to help, and you've made the point about your pride in having a vice president come from your area, I hope that, I know that his office is listening. And in 2016, that a vice president went to donate a desk to Perisi.
Yes, February 2016.
2016.
Perisi MA.
Yeah, Perisi MA, when he heard that the students lacked a desk. So it's something I know he will do for, the...
I don't know when he's going to the village. Maybe when he's going to the village and he decides that, okay, let me get to my mother's village. Maybe he might just decide to give us... desk in our school, because it is something that we really need. Philanthropists, corporate organizations, the office of the vice president, the member of parliament for the area, and other members of parliament. If everyone should come and help these kids, because, like you heard him say, if over 20 years ago I was sitting on the floor. In fact, I was writing on the floor for my teachers to mark, because around that time it was quite rare for us to have access to books and pencils and pens and whatever. And to this point, we are still having kids sitting on the floor, like you mentioned, 21st century, 2024, kids are still sitting on the floor to study. It's quite problematic. And this JSS case, you want them to write same exam as those who are privileged to be in the cities and come and go to the same secondary schools.
Yeah.
How do you expect them? In fact, I was just when you were saying, I mentioned something. The school doesn't have power. You expect these kids to go and write ICT, information, communication, and technology. How do you expect that kid to pass? It's a big question. So sometimes, just sometimes, I feel I was one of those rare and privileged kids, because most of my mates, they are farmers in the village. Most of them. And I was a bit fortunate because I remember when I got to JSS 2, and in fact, when we were going to JSS, we were asked to buy furniture. So my mother, who was then living in Accra, decided to buy a desk for me to take to school, table and chair. So in JSS 2, when I got to JSS 2, that was when I came and joined my mother in Accra and wrote BEC. So when I came and wrote BEC, then I went back to the village where I went to Boku Secondary School. So that is how I was able to leave the village environment. Because
so in effect, I mean, if you're suggesting that if you had
maybe if I stayed there,
you probably would have ended up like a lot of your mates.
Like a lot of my mates, because most of them, as you and I speak, with all due respect to them, they are working on the farms. Those who even want to teach, those who want to get to training college and teach, they don't even have the opportunity to do that. The best most of them have gotten is either they've completed JSS or they've gone to secondary school and they've not been able to continue. It is a major concern. And in fact, I've had calls from people within the area. In fact, it's a major concern around the entire constituency.
Muftawu, how do we help?
Well, so far, I've had generous people come my way who have all supported me with some money. In fact, when I spoke to the sports minister, he also decided to give me some. He gave me 2,000 Ghana cedis to buy the furniture. Robert Coleman of Wembley Sports Complex also gave me 2,000 cedis. Our very own Andy Dusty gave me 500 Ghana cedis. So I've been able to raise over 9,000 Ghana cedis. But considering the student population, we will need more. So if someone out there wants to help us, person can take my number and send the money into my wallet. And if you want to go to the school too and donate, I will willingly take you there. The major satisfaction for us is that these kids who are sitting on the floor get the furniture. If you want to go and give it to them, I can lead you there. It's not a big deal. I'll take you there. So
what's your number? The number
054 91 26905.
Take your time and mention the number so we can.
054 91 26905. Yes,
so that's the number.
That is the number.
That's the Momo number.
That's the Momo number.
If you want to,
yes, if you want to
donate to support.
And the name is my name. It is my name, which is on it, because this is.
What's your name?
Muftawu Abdullah. So if you are sending the money, you will see Muftawu Abdullah. The Nabila is not part of that. When I was going to register, it was just the voter ID. So people who are willing to help, we are ready. I've spoken to many people, and in fact, I spoke to McDan. In fact, I called McDan in the night. He answered me. We spoke. I reached out to Robert Coleman in the evening. He was willing to support. He sent me 2,000 Ghana cedis right away.
Great. So this is what we're going to do. We'll put the number out again. But Raymond, you've listened to this. This is 2024 Ghana. We're not listening to an ancient story being told of, a war-torn country.
And frankly, this one, we don't need to marshal all the forces in this country to help. This is not one of the. You see the point. This is not what you really need all hands on deck on. I am expecting, and so that we show faith, we would contribute, but I'm expecting the education ministry that this one is slipped under the radar.
Yeah.
So quickly they can fix this problem. We have seen this happen on so many occasions.
Yes.
Where the ministry has actually said, no, we didn't know it was happening. In fact, we rarely had the advantage of having to see this happening. So we are sorry, we are going to fix it soon. I'm expecting something like that from, because it's a municipal assembly that's in charge of the school.
Yes.
The understanding is that if they can't raise money to fix this problem, the state would respond from Accra. And Dr. Oseya Oduchum, you have done more than just this one. This cannot be a blot on your work as the education minister.
Yeah.
So it actually has to be fixed immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, people can help. I think that the things that we should be inviting people to help do with things like advancement in the education of the people there and all of that. But as for basic furniture, it should be sensible for the state to intervene immediately. Your intervention should be seen and felt now. It wouldn't take a lot to get this done. There are people in the region who can actually raise or have the furnitures available that can be bought and sent to them.
Oh yes.
This can be easily resolved. This does not require a national rallying call. I hope you get my point.
Yeah, I get
Because when we do that, then we are basically saying that we are not a serious state. And to allow this happen for all these years, we should bow down our heads in shame. And you ask yourself, how many of the similar schools are existing in the Republic, and we are pretending all is well?
And
Look, Muftawu,
Winston.
we have good news
Okay.
because the founding CEO of the CEO Network Ghana and the CEO Summit, Ernest Ejir, the Graft Ejir, has committed to providing 110 dual desks to the school.
Okay.
Yes. So he just sent me a message. That's Ernest de Graft Ejir,
Okay.
who's the founding CEO of the CEO Network Ghana and the CEO Summit.
Okay.
So 110
10. That
dual
will take
desks.
care of 220.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you very, very
Thank
much.
you, Ernest. Thank you. God bless you.
Ernest
And
Ejir.
this you are doing, it will cover for even unborn generations of Duu. And I'm lost of words actually.
Yes.
You can see I'm getting a bit emotional about this.
You relax at this point in time. I can understand. I mean, but talk. Yes, show your appreciation.
Yeah,
to them.
I'm really excited. Mr. Ernest, may you never lack. May whatever you desire come to manifest.
Amen.
The kids of Duu will forever be grateful for what you have decided to do for these kids.
Okay.
The BEC will be coming up pretty soon. Hopefully, they will get some of them to sit on and then before they go to Wulugu Secondary School to go and read the BEC. And hopefully, just hopefully, they'll be able to maintain and keep these decks that you're going to provide even for unborn generations to be able to use them. Thank you very much, Ernest. I am extremely grateful.
Thank you very much, Ernest de Graft Ejir. But you can also help. You've talked about primary school situation still, like the JHS,
Yes.
and so you're looking at 500 pupils in the primary school.
Yeah.
So
In fact, for the headmaster is more than that. But just give an approximated number.
yeah, so all of us can help. Okay, if you want to help, you can reach Muftawu Abdullahi. The number to reach again is
054 9126 905.
And in case for all my friends who are listening and would want to help, if you contact me, I'll show you how to get Muftawu Nabila, and he will be of help to you. I mean, all of us must come together to help.
Sure.
Raymond, you're right, but it gets to a point where sometimes you say, I mean, why should children suffer because the state has neglected them? And for those of us who can contribute, let's just do it to help them. After all, like we say.
In fact, former Black Stars coach Kwesi Appiah sent me 1,000 cedis about a week ago. The CEO of Dreams FC also sent me 1,000 cedis.
Oh, okay. People
In fact,
are
this
supporting.
like I was doing Lala Sulala. Yes, I'll just contact this person and tell you this is what the kids in my village are going through. We've been able to contribute some money to buy some, but a chunk of the kids are still sitting on the floor, and we need support. We need help. If people should really come and help us. In fact, you heard the headmaster talk about no doors, no windows, no light to the school. Everything, anything at all, anyone can help us with. There's no borehole in the school. Anything anyone can help us with, we'll be extremely grateful, and we'll really, really appreciate it. And God bless everyone in advance for supporting Duu. like I mentioned, someone also called me and was telling me about his village, how J.O. Kufuor built a 3-classroom block for them many years ago. That 3-classroom blocks are taking care of hundreds of children. So a chunk of them are sitting under trees. If you bring this to help, and there are more, why not? The neighboring villages that are also struggling, we just, if Duu is catered for, we'll attend to the others, and everyone will benefit. Thank you very much.
Very much.